Greetings all and welcome. Today's Wisdom Wednesday is not a reflection from one of my books. It is a reflection from life itself. After nearly 3 years of showing up here every Wednesday, Spirit has been teaching me about pace, balance, and the unseen gardens that feed the visible work. This all began with me simply sharing wisdom on a Wednesday. Over time, the wisdom started gushing out, and I was tempted to post it as it came. But I have learned that pouring without pause weakens the vessel. And if the vessel disintegrates, the message cannot flow. Constant outpouring without tending the root is not sustainable. It is like drawing water from a well day after day and never stopping to let the rains refill it. The bucket may still go down, but eventually it only scrapes against stone. I learned this firsthand while living in Nigeria. On the compound I rented, there was a well the village women used each day. Their voices and their children's laughter filled the air. A beautiful sound. But by the time I went to draw, the water was gone. Even with the best intentions and with the spirit of sharing, a well that is constantly drawn from without replenishment runs dry. And when the well is dry, no one gets water, not even the one who owns the well. Self-depletion is not virtue. The lesson is about acknowledging that as keepers of wells, we need to pace ourselves and observe the seasons. We must let the rain refill. Let the aquifer recharge. And draw with wisdom so the water stays living and flowing for everyone. Imagine a tree that keeps putting out fruit but no longer draws water from its roots. Its branches looks generous for a season, but soon the leaves wither, the fruit shrivels, the trunk hollows, and if it refuses to pause, its branches break under their own weight. When all our energy goes into public sharing, the study, prayer, and quiet creation that make the sharing possible gets pushed aside. We begin to leave off the very well from which our outpouring flows. And there are only 24 hours in a day. The strength and focus it takes to create or reform the habits that sustain us cannot be borrowed from tomorrow. Sometimes we need to stop, but momentum can feel like a river that would not let us step out. The very things that must move through us in order to manifest in the world can begin to own us if we are not careful. This is the question I keep before me. Who is the boss of who? Do I allow my calling to snuff out my light? Or do I pause long enough to let my light recharge so it can continue to illuminate the calling? The answer is found in deliberate pacing, drawing back to the root so the next flowering will be healthy, strong, and true. This isn't just about me. It's a mirror for everyone and anyone who pours themselves into their work or their family. Honoring yourself is not an afterthought. It is an act of wisdom. Changing rhythm is not laziness, nor is it a retreat. Just because the world cannot see what is happening does not mean nothing is happening. Maturity recognizes seasons for growth, pruning, and rest, and allows them to flow naturally. Taking a walk without turning it into content. Gazing at nature without a lens between you and the sky. Coloring for the sheer pleasure of color without mounting a camera every time you do it. These are not small things. They are the quiet breaths that keep the creative heart beating. We live in a culture that overlooks the quiet warriors. We have been taught to think that if we are not visible, we are not valid. Yet, the real work is done in the dark. The night study by candlelight, the prayer or meditation whispered when no one is listening, the discipline of tending the body. The steady faith of mothers and fathers who rise before dawn. These are the unseen offerings that keep the world turning. Without them, the public display collapses. So here is what to expect. Wisdom Wednesday remains. From now on, everything I share will appear here on a Wednesday. All the different streams will keep their own names so you can tell them apart, but they will all flow through this one space. The only change is that Fiction Friday will now be called Faceless Forces. You may also see new pieces added as spirit moves, but the posting day is Wednesday. In case you're curious, the very word Wednesday comes from old European languages. In Latin, it was called the Day of Mercury, a shorthand for communication and learning. And in Old English, it was Woden's Day, named for a figure who sought wisdom. Historically, the middle of the week has been linked with messages, insight, and exchange. And for me, it's even simpler than that. W for wisdom, W for Wednesday. It just makes sense that the day I share wisdom is the day already named for it. A natural home for pausing, learning, and communicating. Behind the scenes, I am tending to the work you don't always see. Editing my books, completing the Journeying Within series, preparing Harmony's Path deck, developing courses and workshops, and restoring my own balance through study, movement, and practice. There are already more than 170 videos here for you to explore at your own pace. Take your time with them. Let each one meet you where you are. Thank you for spending this time with me. My hope is that this season invites you to pause, to replenish, and tend your own hidden garden. I am Dedre Prescott, and this is Ifarounke Wisdom with Dedre Prescott. I will see you on the next Wisdom Wednesday.